Shorts Daily. Ronnie Rants alongside Tommy Christ and TK joining us from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. I'm from your Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame studios. And as always, Sports Shorts is presented by LeBear's Casino. Hope everybody's having a good one. This is our last show of the week until we're back next week. So we're going to talk some LSU Saints and Aaron Judge. Last night, Aaron Judge hit home run number 61 to tie Roger Maris's record for the most home runs in the American League. And how about this, Tommy? It's amazing how I always get interested when these numbers sort of align, right? 61 homers in 1961 for Roger Maris. It's been 61 years since Roger Maris hit 61 homers. Now Aaron Judge hit 61 homers. The question now becomes, over the next 7 games, will the Yankees play Aaron Judge since they've locked up and clinched playoff spot, and will he get the home run mark?
Well, he's going to hit leadoff, and he's going to play. Now, if he sets the mark, maybe they rest him a day or two, maybe not. I heard an interview with Aaron Judge this morning, because before this season, he turned down a big contract, hundreds of millions of dollars. And a quote-unquote, he was betting on himself. Well, now they're saying this may hurt his future contract because they say you're not going to do this again. You're not going to hit 61 or more again. But no, he'll get paid by the Yankees. Big rumor that the Giants are going to make a push to get him.
Big rumor that the Mets are going to do that as well.
Yeah, well, and he's from Linden, California, which is right outside in the Bay Area somewhere. Mm-hmm. I'm not precisely sure. So it's going to be interesting. But he's got 7 games, as you mentioned, 3 at home against the Orioles, 4 on the road against Texas. Neither one of them teams are jockeying for playoff postseason stuff. So I think he's gonna hit leadoff as he's been doing. He's gonna get it. Now, do they leave him in after he gets it? We'll wait and see on that.
Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Carl. Go ahead and share this video. Appreciate it. Hit that like button. The guy who dropped his homer. Okay, so I don't know that I can't say that he dropped it. He just had it. It was a missile. And it had a lot of sink on it, and the guy was leaning over the railing with a glove, and it went under his glove. It went under the stands into the Toronto bullpen, where the bullpen coach got it and gave it back to Aaron Judge. But and we've talked about it on this show. If you catch that ball, it's at least probably $1 million payday at some point in your life if you get that ball. I don't look at it as a drop. I looked at it as a missed opportunity because that'd be tough catch for anybody. But how about the decision by the bullpen coach to give that ball back? This is a bullpen coach, Tommy. I don't know what this guy gets paid. The one thing, a benefit about being a bullpen coach is you are able, just like a coach, to tap into the retirement plan. So if you're a bullpen coach for a bunch of years, it adds up for your pension. But, probably making $100,000 a year or something like that.
The guess was that the bullpen coaches make between 90 and 150, just maybe depending on who they are, how long they've been,
right,
whatever. And then there was another question, like if he had the ball and he works for the Yankees, okay, does he, or is he the Blue Jay guy?
He was a Blue Jays guy.
Okay, does he have to give? Well, if he's Blue Jays, no, he doesn't have to give it up. But he did. Now I'm sure they're going to take care of him a little bit. But Ronnie, like the guy who missed the. Look, let me tell you something. There are high school kids that best outfielders in high school couldn't have caught that ball. And
right.
A fan, he's not used to doing something like that. It'd been pure luck if he caught it. But he's going to get taken care of. But man, they're talking about lots of money. Now the next home run will be worth even more. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But just another story along with this whole Aaron Judge thing.
It's kind of neat that home run number 61 does go back to him. Now, does what Judge decide to do with it? Does he want to keep it and put it on his mantle? Does he want to donate it to charity? Does he want to sell it, give the proceeds to charity, or give it to his cousin Ray Ray? Who knows? It's up to him to do whatever he wants with it. I think it's always neat when people give the ball back. Look at Albert Pujols, who said, I don't want it. When 698, I think it was, or 697, he's like, nah, you keep it. I thought that was cool.
Well, Ronnie, a lot of professional athletes are very different about memorabilia and milestone things than the average fan or even like me and you. do I have a couple of baseballs somewhere, like the first complete game and all that? Yeah, I got it, but they don't mean anything to me. I mean, my teammates know what happened. That's all I care about. But some of these pro athletes, they got the man cave and they got all their stuff on display. Others, I've heard interviews with pro athletes, hey, like, where's your World Series ring right now? I think my dad has it, or did I give it to some people, it's not that important of a deal. I don't think it's that important of a deal to Aaron Judge. Is he hasn't said either way. He hasn't gave it either way. Now, he did give the ball to his mom, so obviously he didn't care about the ball. He gave it to his mom, home run 61. So apparently she'll think it's more important, and obviously one day he'll get it back, and you would think. So I don't know. It's interesting, but it's given baseball some decent publicity, which
Absolutely.
they need while you got college football and the NFL and the NBA is around the corner. So it's good for Major League Baseball, no question.
No, it's the best. I mean, anytime the Yankees are relevant, it's kind of like saying you hate Notre Dame football. Anytime Notre Dame is relevant, it's good for college football. Anytime the University of Miami is relevant, it's good for football. Those big Duke basketball, North Carolina basketball. As much as the little guy and everybody else may hate those schools because we're tired of hearing about them. It's the national brand. It gets your attention. And it's good for sports. Dallas Cowboys, all that kind of stuff. It moves the meter, and it's good for sports when they're in it. And the Yankees being on TV and people talking about the Yankees. I mean, the year he's having, Tommy, is arguably the greatest year of any player. Now, Barry Bonds, 70-something, but it's tainted. We know that. But 314 batting average and the on-base percentage and the home runs to boot. I mean, like, the Yankees literally would not be where they are without him.
He's carried them. There's no question. He has carried them the last 6-7 weeks. Because DJ LeMahieu has been hurt and he slacked off a little bit. Rizzo, he'll be hot for 2-3 games and then he strikes out 6 times in the next 3 games. So Judge, no question, has carried them on the field, off the field, in the clubhouse, in the dugout. It's been a cool story to see. And again, 7 games left. I think I'd have to get a little wager down that he would hit 1 home run at least in these 7 games, and I haven't seen the odds on that, but I'm thinking that he'll get it done.
Carl being funny there, trying to find that Ronnie Rance ball. Michael, it's funny. I had someone reach out to me on Instagram just literally a few days ago, and they had a picture of the 1991 National Championship LSU Baseball in a case signed by the team in good shape. Like you could, it wasn't like it was so faded or whatever. They kept it in good shape, so you could see, who all's on it. I had my autograph on it, and they were asking me if I could get Coach Bertman's autograph because that was like one that was missing from the ball. And so I'm coordinated getting that ball for them to get it signed. But most of the balls that I've seen from my playing days, and of course none exist from Tommy's, but for my playing days are very, very faded, very difficult to make out who the ink anymore. It's been such a long time. And by the way, a little tip, if anybody ever wants anybody to sign something on a baseball, use ballpoint pen, blue ink. That's the key, right? Blue ink lasts
don't
longer.
use the Sharpie. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but the blue ink lasts longer, and the ballpoint pen, the old school. All right, let's talk New Orleans Saints. The Saints, another second day in a row, Jameis Winston doesn't practice. This is after Dennis Allen said yesterday he was going to practice. This is after Jameis Winston said he was going to practice today. We just got a report a few minutes ago. He was not at practice today for the second day in a row. You see the black helmets that they've been wearing all weekend. They're going to wear on Sunday in London. This is not good news, Tommy. The line went down a half a point. The total over-under went down a little. Vikings are up to 3-point favorite. I would think this news is going to maybe even move the meter again because it's looking more and more unlikely that he's going to play. And even if he does play, talking about Jameis Winston, how healthy can he be?
Well, we're going to have to wait till Sunday morning here in Louisiana. You're going to be there at the game, so you'll get the info. I know you'll have the scoop, but it's definitely an odd situation that the wise guys are going to follow. And if you want to bet this game, sit tight. Let's let a little more action happen, and let's see if something happens with regard to the line moving in either direction. Because it's sitting on 3 right now, and a lot of people like to buy that half point depending on what side you're on. But bottom line is, if Winston hadn't practiced Wednesday and Thursday, I don't think he plays. Or like you said, if he does, is he going to be any good? And is Andy Dalton give the team a better chance? That's what Dennis Allen has to decide. Speaking from my opinion, based on what I've read, seen, and heard, you got a better chance with Andy Dalton this coming Sunday than you would Jameis Winston. because he's got 4 fractures in his back and he hadn't practiced. I mean, you put that together, and I don't know if that helps you win an NFL game. I don't know if you can help your team.
I think that there's some value in that. I mean, the other thing is the unknown, right? You know, the other team hasn't scouted for Andy Dalton, you know, in this system and all that kind of stuff. Andy Dalton looked okay, a little bit we saw out of him in spring training, but yeah, and training camp. But yeah, it goes back to what you said, is that, you know, at some point there has to be a, hey, we know, Jameis, you don't want to lose your job. We know, Jameis, you want to be John Wayne out there. But you haven't earned that right, like, say, a Drew Brees, right? There's times that the Saints put Drew Brees out there knowing that he's not healthy and all that, but he's Drew Brees. He's earned that. Jameis Winston hasn't earned that, not particularly not with this franchise. So, Dennis Allen, this is where you get paid to make those tough decisions, to make those tough choices as the head coach. Is not just go with, you know, what you think maybe is the, you know, oh, I don't want to ruin his confidence. Oh, I don't want to cause a controversy as starting quarterback. No, you know, at some point you may have to go to Jameis Winston and say, Jameis, I know you want to play, but the fact that you haven't been able to practice and you've got fractures in your back, I'm going with a healthier option, and you'll be the backup, emergency backup.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, sometimes it also at the professional level, it'll boil down to the player's got to be honest to himself and to his teammates to say, hey, I cannot be at the level to help us win, so let's go with somebody else. I mean, you know, college kids don't want to come out the game. They're not going to tell the coach they hurt. In all sports. High school, same thing for the most part. But at the professional level, it's got to be, you owe it to the team. It's tough to win an NFL game. Saints are 1-2. They don't want to be 1-3. So they need to have their best chance this Sunday against a pretty good Vikings team who's favored. You know, it's a quote-unquote Saints home game, and I don't know what the fan breakdown will be. You'll be there. You'll be able to give us a report on that. But, you know, hey, Saints are, you know, must win, back to the wall. Very important game. Yes, it's a long season, but this game Sunday with the Vikings is very important.
There was on one of the comments here, Byron Painter saying, we were talking about Aaron Judge. He said, how likely is he to have a repeat season? You brought that up, Tommy. Could he break his own record, or do you think this is one of those magical seasons? And of course, it's going to be the biggest, you know, free agent really ever, right? But here's the thing with Aaron Judge, you know, and I looked this up because I was curious. You know, they've got that short right field fence over there. So if you're any sort of left-handed hitter, you want to go to Yankee Stadium, or if you're a guy who hits the ball the opposite field, just spin one off about 305, and it's going to be a homer down that right field line a little bit. But Aaron Judge, you ready for this? At home, Tommy, and this is unbelievable. This was before yesterday's game. At home, Aaron Judge batting .312 on the year, 30 homers, .412 on base percentage. On the road, he's hitting .317 with 30 homers and a .433 on base percentage. That just goes to show you that, you know, that the dude's a great hitter, and whether he's at home or on the road, and that right field porch isn't really playing into his game. That was impressive. I thought for sure he would have higher numbers at home, but with benefiting from that short right field porch. Instead, he's actually hitting better on the road, has equal number of homers. I mean, wow. And so to answer Byron Payne's question, do you think he can have another can he hit another 62 homers and hit 315? I don't know, but I don't think it's a fluke. It's not a Brady Anderson situation with the Baltimore Orioles, right, where he's juiced up and he runs into 50 balls one year. This dude's always been a good hitter. This guy has proven through this chase he's more than just a home run hitter. He's an average hitter. He's an on-base machine. Roger Maris hit 264 the year he hit 61 homers. This guy's hitting 314 while he's hitting 61 homers. I mean, that's not a fluke. Whether or not he ever has this great a season, I don't know. But can he hit 299 with 50 homers? Absolutely.
Well, and does he hit 62 again? I don't know. But he'll hit 40 to 45 again. You know, he'll drive in 100, 105 runs. I mean, he's going to hit for an average unless, you know, it just all goes south. So, no, he's plus, you know, he's got a great arm in the outfield. He can cover ground pretty good for a big guy in the outfield. Might not be the fastest guy out there, but he's not bad.
By the way, Jamie Fortenberry, yes, he hit home run number 61 last night. So he's got 7 games left to break Roger Maris's 62 number. All right, let's talk. And by the way, I'll be in London here momentarily, heading there this afternoon. Looking forward to it. I have a full report next week on. I'm going to try to find the best restaurants, tell you all about it. But I'm actually going to take in a soccer match, trying to figure out what we're going to on Saturday. Got 4 choices. So we'll take in a lot to report next week on the trip to London. Looking forward to it. Probably looking forward more to the soccer match than I am the
and
LSU
be sure
game.
you pay attention to all of us on social media. Come Sunday, Monday, we'll let you know what the schedule will be for next week. And don't forget Sports Shorts Radio, still going to be there this Saturday. Derry Beckwith, myself, and many others, 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Real quick, prayers to everybody over in Florida. I mean, unbelievable, the images and all going from West Coast to East Coast. Absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, folks in Louisiana know all too well what's going on over in Florida, but some of those areas will never be the same, just like they are here. And it's going to be an absolute mess. 140, 150-mile-an-hour winds for a lot of the area. The weather is not going to affect the LSU Auburn game. In fact, it's going to be perfect at Auburn on Saturday. 80 degree is going to be the temperature around kickoff. It's going to get into maybe the high 50s by the end of the game. No chance of rain. So it's going to be absolutely perfect. If you're thinking about going to the game, you can get tickets cheap. So go on to the game. LSU hanging in there at a 9-point favorite, over under at 46. If anything, Tommy, I probably like the under on this game more than the 9.
I definitely would want to play with the under there. And if you're going to bet the thing, I'd take LSU and lay the points.
All right, you got a Monday Night Football game tonight and a free pick
Thursday
for everybody out there. Tell us about it.
Thursday night game. You got Joe Burrow and the Bengals, who started 0-2 but got a win last week. They're at home against the Miami Dolphins, who are one of the surprise stories with Tua. They're now 3-0, not 2-0. And I'm going to tell you right now, Sports Shorts Daily free pick from Sports Shorts Daily and meatandpotatoesusa.com. I'm going with the Dolphins plus 3.5. I think they're a better football team than the Bengals. I know all you LSU fans love Joe Burrow, and he's great and went to the Super Bowl last year. But the better team is the Dolphins, and especially with 3.5 points.
All right, so there's your free pick from TK. By the way, Craig Schilling saying tickets only $50 in the lower bowl at Auburn, huh? Boy, how times have changed.
Well, let's say Auburn is a mess. That's safe to say.
All right, folks, we'll be back for more Sports Shorts Radio this Saturday morning. Tommy, Derry Beckwith, and the gang, Joel Davis, will be live at Calandro's Supermarket on Government Street. And also, so check that out. That's 10 to noon. And then also, don't forget, go to lasportshall.com, lasportshall.com. Currently, as we speak, we're running a gridiron kickoff auction benefiting Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. It ends Sunday at 8 o'clock. Unbelievable auction items. Go to lasportshall.com. Check it out. And while you're there, also click on that link for our golf tournament, Ghouls and Golf, which will be October 30th and 31st at U Club and LaBerge Casino. It's the Ghouls and Golf tournament. Check it out at lasportshall.com. All right, Tommy, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on the flip side.
Have fun over there in London, Ronnie, and we'll let everybody. We'll be here next week. We just don't know the days yet. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you. And don't forget Tremonti's Jambalaya, the lunch special today. All your tailgating needs. Connect on Facebook and Instagram. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Or go to the website, tremontis.com.
Have a great weekend, everyone.